Hi everyone, it's Lynn. We're going to do the next block. So this is the 9th block in our block of the month, or Quilt Lit 101. I know we're doing it every 2 weeks. So the block that we're going to be doing, I'm going to turn the overhead on so you can see it. But this one I'm calling Pride and Prejudice. It is really similar. Let me see if I can see the block. I don't think you can see the block behind me. It's really similar to some of the blocks that we've done. And again, I'm just going to go over the similarities and what it looks like, that kind of stuff. But I think you will really like this. So, all right, this is what the block looks like. If you'll notice, it still has that kind of cross effect that we've had in all the blocks so far. And really, so it's done in, 9 parts again. So what you need for this one is you're going to need, and this is, if you're following along, navy. These are all Kona fabrics again. So navy is going to be one of your Kona fabrics. And if you've got the pattern, and it's in the link below if you want to get it, if you get the pattern or join the club, you're going to need 8 2.5 squares of navy, 4 2.5 squares of the dark violet, and then you're going to need let me rearrange it. 2.5 squares of navy. You're going to need 4 of the dark violet. That's this, but it's 2.5 by 4.5. Then you're going to need hibiscus, and I get those mixed up because I want this to be the dark, and it's not. This is. So hibiscus, and this is 4 2.5-inch squares of hibiscus. And then you will need 5 2.5-inch squares of the cactus, which is that real pretty green. I love this green. I think I said that last time, how much I like that. And then this one, and again, these are all Kona colors, so you can get them online. They're readily available. And this is fabric 10 in the pattern, and you need 4 of these, and it's 2.5 by 4.5, 2.5 by 4.5. So this is what we're making. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take all of the navy, because you get 8 of these, all the navy 2.5-inch squares, and you're going to put them on top of either the sour apple or the dark violet, which this is the dark violet color. Even though that looks darker, this is what they're calling dark violet. So, and you're going to lay it on top of it like this. And then what I do, and there's a couple ways to do this, but what I do is I just get a straight edge, and you can get a ruler. This is my Quilter's Magic Wand, but it's made by Studio 180. And you would just, and this is a white gel pen, and I'm just going to write, because it's a stitching line, so it's not, I just draw the line, and then I stitch on that line. And I do that, and I'm going to do the same way. So I'm always going to stitch from the top left hand to the bottom right hand. I'm not going to do it the other way. They're all going to be stitched that way. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that up, and I'm going to press those to where it looks like this. Okay? And so you'll do 4 of these. You'll have 4 with the dark violet and 4 with the sour apple. Then once you press those, then I come back and I cut away this extra fabric in the back. And I actually save that. And the reason I save that is because those become little half square triangles that I just sew up, because I've already got it ready to sew. And I just put it away and on my little drawer next to my sewing machine, and it becomes part of a postcard or something little scrappy that I end up doing. So, and it's already half square triangle, so I don't even worry about it. But I'll find a place to use it. I promise you I will, because I don't throw a lot of scraps away. If I throw scraps away, they're teeny tiny pieces. Or I'm sick of using that fabric. That's the only reason. So you're going to have 4 of these. Then once you have 4 of those, they're going to look like this. So I've cut the backs away, and they're going to look like that. So set these aside. Then you're going to take these, and you'll notice that the navy kind of kisses each other right there in the middle of that. So you're going to flip that around like that. And then you're going to do right sides together, and you're going to stitch 1/4 inch seam here, right? So that will look like this in the top corner. You're going to stitch that, and you're going to create 4 of those. So you're going to repeat this in these 4 sections. Now, what makes it different is I turn it, right? So they're turned, even though it's the same unit that I'm making. Then I'm going to take all of my hibiscus and my cactus, which are these, and I'm going to sew these together, just piece those together, and that's going to be this little part of the cross, right? So after I've sewn together the cross, this is another one of the things. This is how it looks once it's sewn together. You're going to sew these together. Then you get this unit. You're going to have that unit. Then I'm going to make this. So I'm going to sew these together first, and then I'm going to sew it to the middle. Lots of strings here I should have trimmed. But that's, you know. So then you get this middle piece, right there. And then you're going to sew the bottom 2 together. Now notice, oops, I did that wrong. There it is. That's how it goes. So what you're having is this green is going to point down, then it's going to point to the center, then it's going to point up, and then it's going to point to the center. So they're always kind of, the greens are pointing to the center. That's how I know that I've arranged it right. Now, and I'm big about printing out what I want it to look like so that I can see that. But then you're going to sew these 2 together, this together, and then sew these 3 together, and da-da-da, you've got the block. So really super easy, a little bit different technique that we're doing in this corner to get that kind of kiss look. But you'll notice this is a great, I mean, just look at how dynamic that could be even in a border. Like just this one little technique can be used multiple ways, and you do get those extra little, like when you're cutting those away, when you're cutting this away, you're getting this extra. Save that. Don't throw it away, because you're going to be able to use it in other things. And I will show you how I use mine, because I've already got those sewn together, but I haven't like put it in something yet. So we will do that next. But block 9, I sincerely can't believe we're on block 9 already. It just feels like it's crazy. So, but really fun, really easy to do, and you can see how dynamic just keeping that same consistency with this cross design kind of, it just helps it flow together. And there's so many different ways you can do this and just change up the corners. And hopefully you've seen that in the past, 8 blocks and how it can all work together. So, Pride and Prejudice, stay tuned, because we're going to post a new one in 2 weeks. And sorry this is a little late, but, life, it happens. So anyway, thanks for joining us, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.